But wait, the gain was a little too high. But hello. Bipping jump scare. Hello. Hello. Welcome everybody. It's me. I was trying to fool you guys. I was trying to fool you during the ad break. When you guys said that I was unnerving, that me just staring into your soul, that's unnerving. Am I really look. With like the default she scares us. The default babinka.png when I'm just like and it's funny because it was like a little bit of scuff, but I hope it didn't go noticed, because I was gonna surprise you guys with like during the ad break I was gonna like look into your soul, but then my model was stuck. Yeah, I know what you did. She's doki birding. But then like it wouldn't work, so I had to like restart VTube Studio, and then I was gonna be like bah, and then my mic wasn't working. But it's okay. I think oh, I went into the red for that according to my little audio bar. So let me put the gain down a little. But hello everybody, hello. I think I even mastered like how to make it look like I'm eeping. Look. Honk shoo, honk shoo, honk me. I mastered how to do it. Okay, let's get to class, shall we? Wait, let me put on some música. And let's get to class. Hello everyone, hello. Welcome. It's me, Bubinko Bear, your local sun bear, an art history teacher, an educational streamer. How you guys doing? Hello, we're doing some art appreciation today. I feel like it's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been a minute since we've done art appreciation. We've been doing lots of gaming. I was thinking about it recently and I was like, I feel like my streams are missing something. Like I feel like I haven't done like... Granted, a lot of the things that I do are like on a monthly basis. It's like script study on a monthly basis, Posca markers on a monthly basis. Is that a mini brick? Which one? On the screen? Are you talking about my new table? It's slightly different, the table, right? They look like a brick. But yeah. What was I talking about? Mini brick channeling. Oh, let me see, because this was just recommended to me. Let's take a look-see. Ah, okay. The Lasso Hobbyer. That's the name of this this person. Is the music a little loud? I really like the music, but it's I'm gonna lower it just a teensy smidge. Teensy bit? Okay. That means you guys are hearing at about the same volume that I'm hearing. I've never heard of this artist before. This is Kingo Hamada. And I thought, because a lot of my Spotify is full of like vaporwave and stuff that was made in the 2010s, made to sound like it's from the 80s and 90s because nostalgia. And I was like, oh, is this vaporwave? And then I look at the year, it's 1982, and it's like, no, this is actually just stuff from the 80s and 90s. This is actual city pop. Straight from the source, baby. But it was recommended on my Spotify page, so that's why I put it up. The lasso does amazing dioramas. Ooh, it looks cool because okay, so here's what we're gonna be doing for today. In terms of art appreciation, I usually have a queue going. I usually have some kind of like queue of like, okay, first we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do this. But to be honest, the past few weeks I've been kind of like I've been kind of out of it. I've been kind of tired just because I've been like doing a lot of stuff for work. Today was even like pretty busy, but I got a lot done. I spoke to a lot of teachers today through email. But I got a lot done, but you know, my brain isn't moving as fast as I would like it to. So I didn't really send out any reminders of like, oh yeah, guys, it's art appreciation coming up. You guys should like show me some art and stuff. So at this point we only got 2 art pieces that were recommended by folks. However, there were other things that I wanted to check out. So for example, there's this page called the Public Domain Image Archive. I don't know if it just recently went public, but it's just a collection of like public domain art, which is like perfect because then I could like review these without any kind of like repercussions, hopefully. Because sometimes like when I look at art, sometimes I do get, you know, just a teensy bit of fear that the artist and or their estate and or their descendants are gonna be like, excuse me, you owe us $15 billion. So if this is public domain, I don't have to be scared of that, right? This music is city popping. It sure is. It sure is. Show me your recommended art. I am no longer asking. No, but that's okay because in the past we've had it where like it was too much recommended art and I had to pick and choose, right? I had to be like, oh no, I can't look at all the things that people recommended to me. And now it's down to only 2 people put stuff in the Discord, which is still plenty because I could yap for a while on any given art piece. And this is one of them. This was recommended by... give me a second. Who recommended this? Is this Sime? Oh no, it's Shio. It's Shopi. Shopi recommended this one. And then it does come with a video that we can at least skip through together. I don't want to, you know, be a React Andy type person where I just like react to other people's content. Even though technically that's what I'm doing with art appreciation, isn't it? Technically. I am reacting to other people's content in terms of their art, but still, it's all positive things. And then there's this piece of work by, who is this? So Sime recommended, but the artist is called Girl Panthera. And I like this. This looks like is this, oh, it doesn't say what kind of paint this is, does it? I can't tell if it's acrylic or oil. I feel like it's acrylic. But, ooh, look, it's staring into your soul. So I feel like we'll do this. I can never decide whether I want to do like the stuff people recommended first. Hello, Pickles. Hello, welcome. Or whether I should do like because I also want to look at just like stuff from the image archive and I think I showed this to you guys before. This is Google Arts and Culture. This is a web page, you know, by Google where they just show you different like arts and culture, but also stuff like games that have to do with arts and culture and music and activities. And right now they are spotlighting on one of my favorite artists, Edward Hopper. So I kind of want to check out some of these works. So we actually do have a lot to do today. However, like I said, because my brain is a little like it's a little mushy. We're gonna take it easy. In fact, because there's games on here, a part of me is like maybe I should like play some of these games first to just warm up, and then we'll get into some appreciating. We could also do a little bit of yapping. What have I been up to lately? 'Cause I did say that I was doing a lot of work. There was this client that I had yesterday. I went to the office yesterday, which was It was nice, but I also didn't get a lot done because lots of people chat in the office and it's all like nice chats. It's all like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm going to Japan soon," or like, or they were asking me like, "Oh, how was your trip to the Philippines?" or like, "Oh, how's this? How you doing? Are you keeping safe in the Los Pincos fires and whatnot?" So it's all good conversations and everyone is really friendly. It's just that I can't get anything done. I can't get any work done. Like there's stuff that I would preferably want to like finish up by a certain point. But it's like every couple minutes it's like, "Oh hey there, Binko, how was your trip? Hey there, Binko, what you got going on there? Hey there, Binko." Oh, one of my like higher up bosses, because it was kind of like the first day that a lot of people were back at the office ever since the fires and winter break. She treated all of us to lunch, which was really nice. Um, However, what the place that we ended up going to was like a taco truck, which I love taco trucks. I love Mexican food. Um, and I was really, really excited to go to this taco truck. However, they revealed at the last minute, that they had no seafood that day, which means that I had practically like no choices on what I did end up getting something, but basically our boss was like, "All right, everyone, I'm gonna treat everyone to lunch. We're gonna go to the taco truck across the street." And I was like, I was one of the people that was like audibly like, "Let's go!" Taco truck! I'm gonna get a shrimp taco! I was so excited, especially because their shrimp taco looks so good. And then my boss was like, "Okay guys, so before you order, they did tell me like, so instead of us going to the truck and ordering one by one, they gave my boss a sign-up sheet." Basically, they printed out like a sign-up sheet, or maybe my boss printed it out herself, I don't know, but she was like, "All right, so put your name, put your put what order you want, and put your substitutes if you have dietary restrictions, blah blah blah." And she was like, "Unfortunately, there's no pupusas today." And I was like, "Ah, that's fine, that's fine." And there's also no seafood. And I was like, "No." Wait, let me get my, "No, what do you mean? No seafood. What am I supposed to have? Qué triste." No. Then what am I supposed to have? And I even like passed along the sign up sheet to my like immediate boss, because this is like our higher up boss that's buying for all of us. "Oh, thank you for the pet pickles. It's okay. I did in fact end up eating something. It's because of my immediate boss." My immediate boss. I gave the slip to him, and he noticed that my name wasn't on it. And he's like, "Aren't you gonna order anything?" And I'm like, "Oh, there's nothing I can have. There's no seafood, and I'm pescatarian. I can't have like chicken, pork, or beef." And he's like, "Oh no." And like he like hesitated to order because I wasn't getting anything. And like he was like recommending all these things like, "Oh, what about the quesadilla?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, the quesadilla. Oh, it's a little oily though, and my doctor told me to like stay away from oil." And he's like, "Okay, okay. Uh let's think here. Oh, look, they got a fish taco." And then my upper boss was like, "Remember, there's no seafood. That counts as seafood." He's like, "Oh, okay, okay. How about a bean and cheese burrito?" And I'm like, "Wait, let's do that. Let's do the bean and cheese burrito." So I did end up getting a bean and cheese burrito. It was really good. They had really good green sauce. They had really good chips, and I got to eat with my coworkers. So it was actually really nice. I'm glad, because if I ended up not getting anything, that meant I would have just stayed at my cubicle, which means I probably would have gotten more work done. But at the same time, we got that like bonding, right? We got the bonding. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna mute for a second. Okay, what are you guys saying? What are you guys saying? Did you get your permission slip signed? I didn't. No, that's why there was no seafood. A teacher field trip. Yeah, we did get like a little field trip. All of us like at the office, we like all walked together across the street to the taco truck. What are you guys saying? What are you guys? Hello, beeplebees. Smashes through the classroom all Kool-Aid style. Now we have to clean up all the rubble. Eat it. I'm just trying to provide snacks. You guys are eating the drywall? There's asbestos in there. There's asbestos in there. But yeah, so I think it shows that, like, you know, life is pretty peaceful if that's the most eventful thing that happened is me not getting seafood. But in the end, I still got to hang around with the coworkers. I even got a little bit of cheese meat, but I feel like it's a little too that's not my story to tell. That's not my cheese meat to tell. Basically, there's a little bit of office beef, but I'm not gonna get involved in that. I'm not gonna get involved in that. Hello, Hanel. What masterpieces are we looking at today? I'm glad you asked. So, we got a few choices. So there is this cool site called the Public Domain Image Archive. I'm gonna show it to you guys. So it's this cool little like resource where you could just see like public domain images. Actually, let me get out of infinite view. Yeah, I think the landing page just looks like this. But you can like search the collection, you can browse by category. Ooh, you can look at artist entry style. Wait, this is really cool actually. But then we also have this little thing called Google Arts and Culture that has like little games. So I'm thinking maybe I do also need to warm up my voice. So I wonder if there's a way that we can play like some kind of like music game, warm up my voice, and then we'll get into looking at some artworks. And then we also have 2 works that were recommended by folks on the Discord. So Shiopi recommended this one. It's resin art. I actually thought this was like digital art at first because I just saw like the thumbnail for it and I thought it was digital. Turns out it's 3D art. It's resin. There's a video that shows how it was made, and then we also have a painting. I don't know if it's oil or acrylic, but it was recommended by Sime and the artist is Girl Pantera. But yeah, so we got quite a few choices today. We got quite a few choices. Tell us, Tita Bibing. No, it's not anything that I can really like expound upon. It's really just like someone in the office dislikes another person, but like everyone's very prompt and cordial in front of each other's faces, so it's not obvious, but it's also like, oh, okay, I guess I should keep in mind that these 2 people like might not like each other. So that's literally it. That's literally the only like tea or chisme that I can give. Chisme. I'm not vegetarian. I'm down with the beef. Down with the beef. Where's the beef? Asbestos. Yummy. A yummy simbimi estos tummy. I know that public domain website. I love browsing through the books on the collection. Oh, nice. This is the first time I'm hearing of this. I saw this. I want to say either Bisky or Twitter. Someone posted it there. But yeah, I'm excited to look through it. Is that resin? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is resin. You can only eat halal, having to shoot down every food place people suggest that, or just get fries. I know. Which, like, there's a little bit more options for me because I can eat, like, fish and shrimp and crab and stuff. And eggs. I love eggs. But, yeah, I feel that sometimes there are places where it's like there's no options. Like all you gotta have is like the fries or the most basic salad, right? I feel bad especially for Beans sometimes because he has a stricter diet. He's vegan. So like if a place doesn't have like specifically vegan things, then usually he has to opt for like the salad. Manopo. That song I heard all the time on TikTok. Oh, this one? What does it say? I can't read the kanji, but it says no. I can read the hiragana. Something no dolphin. Something of dolphin. Dolphin something. But yeah, let's see if there's like some kind of music related art game that we can play so I can warm up my voice a little bit. National Gallery mixtape. Can you match artwork? Can you match artwork to music? Let's try this out. Artwork to music. Oh, it's so loud. What the? Why is it so loud? Where's the? Wait. Put this down. This is too loud. It's too loud. That scared me. Alright, it's still gonna be loud in my ears, but hopefully it won't be too loud to you guys. Ooh, this is neat. The Ascent of Ethiopia. Lois Mailu Jones. Portrait of a Noblewoman, Lavinia Fontana. These are both cool. I like this. I like the Ascent of Ethiopia one. It has like some Egyptian themes. It has some like really cool colors and style. Get jump scared by art and music. Is that a small dog? It sure is. Do we click on the... Or maybe I guess we just like pick one. This song is giving me like this vibe. Well done. Oh, so there's an answer. It's not an interpretation. Oh, this is a little loud. Is there not a way to like... There's sound off, but then that defeats the whole purpose. Does that not like defeat the whole purpose of the activity, which is to like match the music? There's no way to just make it a little less. We love a fancy dressed lady with puppies in this household. Okay, so this song is very tranquil sounding, right? Very tranquil sounding. This isn't actually warming up my voice at all now that I think about it, but it's okay. But let's pick this Monet, the Water Lilies in Japanese Bridge. Amazing. Dom Pedro II. Poplars. I like this style a lot. I actually like Monet's style a lot. It's very like textured. I know that pose. It's screaming Brazil mention. Brazil. It's very like really right in front of my crab rangoons. I feel like this is the Dom Pedro. Congratulations. Very March. Simon Bolivar. Yeah, it's very much a march. Obviously, this classical, calm-sounding music is for the apotheosis of war. I want crab rangoons. Okay, let's go back. I want to actually like warm up my voice. Maybe we should play that. There should be a YouTube video. I should have done this beforehand, but we're gonna do it together now. Vocal warm-up. 10 minutes? I ain't got enough time for 10 minutes. Need the shortest vocal warm-up you got. Quick vocal warm-up and it's 8 minutes. I need like, let's see, 3 minutes, 1 minute, 7 minutes. Give me a second. Okay, we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do this together. I just need to find a good one. 3-minute vocal warm-up. High note? Oh no. No. We're not doing a high voice. I can't do a high voice. I am so smart. Wow, I'm so cold, I say as I drink a cold drink in my cold room. Oh no. It's been pretty cold for me too, actually. Alright, you know what? Let's do this one. Let's just do a 5-minute vocal warm-up together. Weitheit, hello. Feel free to join in. I'm gonna start with a hum. I should sit up for this. Hi, vitamin. You can wait for Weitheit to confirm or deny that. Okay, so if Vitaheit is vitamin mum, that means Cardi B is cardigan backyardigan. Think about it. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. The Binka vitamin. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Think about it, Hanel. Mum 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 mum. This means that Ice Cube is icicle cubicle. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Mum 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 mum. Oh, sorry. Ice Cube is actually Icelandic cubicle. Beeplebees is Applebee's for bees. This even sounds like bees. I always read Vitaheit as Vita Hide, just like Randon. Oh my god, a me cameo. Bike is short for Bikel. Okay, but rat is short for Rathu. I'm secretly a dill named Pickle. Secretly. The little dill, that is. Floofenstein alpacule floofer. Lil Pump is Lillian Pumpernickel. I just read that one on a website. Goog. Goo 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 goo. Goo goo goo. NAS. NAS is National Aeronautics and Space. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Does that mean Michael's fatigued because he's too tired? Oh my gosh. Do 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 do. Oh no, it's goog. Goog goo 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 goo. Goog goo 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 goo. Goog goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. One day you'll be Big Dill. That day is today. Goo 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 goo. 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 Nice. We did it. We did it. No, we don't need to learn vowels. Let's do some tongue twisters. Unique New York. Unique New York. I am the very model of a modern major general. I have information, animal, vegetable, and mineral. I know the kings of Scotland, and I quote the fights historical, from Marathon to Waterloo, in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with matters mathematical. Something both the simple and quadratical. Let's get some tongue twisters. Let's get some tongue twisters. Really warm ourselves up. 50 tongue twisters to improve your English pronunciation. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Where's the pheasant one? I want the pheasant one. New York. New York. She sells seashells by the seashore. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? If he would chuck, he would as much as he could, and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Heh. Okay. Wait, a bear? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't Fuzzy Wuzzy. That wasn't too bad. I guess these are more for like improving your pronunciation, because it works with other languages too. Like I have some Tagalog ones that I like. Pronunciation. Except for the nakapag, I can't say that one. Tagalog tongue twisters. Okay. Where are they? Here we go. Pitumput pitong puting tupa. 77 white sheep. Pitumput pitong puting pating. That feels like that could easily become another word. Oh, I can't do this one. Nakakapagpabagabag kapag kinakabag ka. Siopaw shumay suman. That's not too bad. Bumili ako ng bitukan... Huh? Bumili ako ng bitukan ng butiki sa botika. I bought a lizard's guts! Huh? Nadu Barber of Seville. I actually don't know that one. Or do I? Sinusin ni Susan ang sisidlan ng sisiw. Ang relo ni Leroy ay Rolex. Do I know Barber? I didn't tweet out. I'm a fool. I forgot to tweet out. Okay. I've never actually listened, or I'm not familiar with Barber of Seville. I've heard of it. That's not the one from The Simpsons, right? Is that the one from The Simpsons? What's the one that Sideshow Bob performed, which prevented him from killing Bart in that one episode? Is that the one? Barbara Civilian. I was reading a text message. Okay. I feel like I'm pretty warmed up now. So now let's take a look at some art. Pagliacci. Oh, the sad clown. Gavin Batole. Okay, I want to play a game, and then we'll get into we'll look at some random public domain images. Yeah, I'm finished playing. 1 sound, 2 frames. 2 chains, even. Mice in the Museum. Okay, I'm kind of curious about this one. National Gallery Mixtape. Mix a personalized soundtrack inspired by paintings. Google AI. Do we want to contribute to this? I think the other one was also AI. The unfortunate thing is that a lot of these are like AI. However, like Beans brought up a good point to me one time before, where it's like, as long as it's not generative AI, is it still okay, right? I don't know. It could, if someone wants to like chime in and let me know, because like with like generative AI, it like takes art from, you know, actual artists and like basically like whenever you type in a prompt, it's basically stealing from that artist, right? So on an ethical note, that's why I don't like generative AI. But then on an environmental note, from what I've heard, in order to like power AI, it takes a lot of energy from you know, various servers and computers. I don't quite know how it works, but it kind of makes sense, right? It depends on how it sources its generation. Beans the bear been bottling beans since he had bean behind the beer bar. The thing with that tongue twister, I like it. I like it. But also it depends on your accent. Oh wait, that's also, sorry, we're like straying away from like art appreciation, but this just reminds me of like list of words. I think Squeegee did one. Accent. Word list for guessing your regional accent. There's like a bunch of words. That's not what I mean. Okay. There's a bunch of words that if you read it out, people can like guess your accent. But I need to find it. Oh, here we go. It's from Squeegee. Where is the... AI is a tool to make menial tasks okay. Generative, yeah, that's okay, but generative AI not so much. So we can check out how, like, in what way is AI being used in these programs, and see if they're, like, you know, kosher to play around with. But otherwise we might just avoid it entirely. Okay, so there's here. This from Squeegee. I like her a lot, actually. She's one of my favorites. So she reads out a list of words. I don't want to steal content, but basically she, like, reads a bunch of words, and it's one of those, like, oh, I didn't realize that you pronounce it that way, but yeah. Like that last word, pecan, she says pecan, but, like, other people also say pecan. So let's read it and let's see what happens. Limmy, hello. I didn't government name you this time. I wasn't like Sky Limit Art. Greetings and salutations. Oh, you couldn't hear the video? That's okay. She was basically just, like, reading off, like, this list. So let's see. So here's the list if you want to try it. So aunt. I know some people say aunt, but I say aunt. Or unless it's when I'm referring to, like, my relatives, you can either say tita for an aunt, or you could say auntie. So, like, there's aunt, like, in, like, if I'm saying it, like, in English, like, oh, that's your aunt, isn't it? But if I'm referring to, like, my own relatives, there's, like, a little bit of a Filipino accent, so it's like, oh, it's auntie Binko. Auntie Binko. Auntie Binky. I feel like that's a good, like, Filipino name. Auntie Binky. Aunt, crayon, crown, roof, route, theater, iron, salmon, caramel, fire, almond, water, New Orleans, pecan, both, oil, again, mirror. That's okay. Mirror is such a weird one for me to say. Mirror. Because I don't really say the O. Probably. Alabama, bin, Caribbean, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, pajamas, caught, naturally, aluminum, doorknob, drawer, envelope, nucleus, washing, tomato, where, often, wait. If I'm in conversation, I'm like, I don't know, she does that pretty often. Yeah, I don't say the T. I don't say the T. Some of these words is, like, I feel like there's a difference between reading it by itself and, like, saying it in conversation. Because when I read this, I was like, oh, often. But but in reality, it'd be like, oh, she doesn't do it that often. You know? Greasy. Okay, so next up is Greasy Columbus. Hate that guy. Minnesota, Florida, ask, pen, bag, marry, really, and flourish. I don't think we can hear that. I was in another stream and they said my whole name and IDKY. Felt so weird, like, oh, this is an interview. Why, hello, salutations, Pickles the Little Dill. I hope your day is quite cromulent. In my family, we wound up pronouncing it one way or for specific aunts and other for others. It's weird. Yeah, I feel like that's what happens with Greasy Columbus. I feel like that's what happened with me too. It's like if I'm talking to, like, my own aunt, it's like, oh, hi, Auntie Binky. Like, I don't know, there's, like, the slightest of, like, accents to it. But if it's like, oh, isn't that your aunt? Then it's a little different. I feel like when I try to say these types of words, I straight up forget how I normally say them in speech. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, some of these, I think the one that I don't know if it's, like, an American or a Californian thing, if it's a Bear American or a Californian thing, but the word mountain in my actual speech, like, when I'm saying it, I don't pronounce the T. Mountain. This place has so many mountains. Greasy Columbus. He is greasy. I hate that guy. I want to do this and have a linguist guess the exact geographic area I'm from. That's what I you know those like clips from, like, Sherlock where it's like, oh, based on the fact that you have dirt under your fingernails and, like, the lapel of your jacket is this and that, you are a architect And you just came from a 12-hour flight and blah 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 blah. And then like a part of me is like, I want someone to do that to me and see what they can figure out. Where it's like, you the way you talk makes me think that you are a streamer, not just a streamer, but a VTuber, and not just any VTuber, but a bear. It's like, how did you know that? Clench his fist, Columbus. I feel like that's more normal, like instead of aunt or auntie. My brain wants to say words right, but my mouth doesn't cooperate. GeoGuessr, but with spoken language. That would be so cool. That'd be so cool. Shiopi, hello. Welcome. We have the art that you had recommended. This one, right? So we'll take a look at that one in a bit. A bear of the bebinka variety. Exactly. It's like, not only are you a bear, but you are a bear of the bebinka variety. And I'm like, oh no, I've just been doxxed by this linguist. Randomly, one of my grandmas is Nona, because even though the grandpa on that side is still just is still just grandpa, I was taught weird things as a kid. I think that does have to do with like how the people around you refer to that family member, because I call my maternal grandma, I call her mommy. Wait, let me put the music back on. I call my mom mama, right? And I call my dad papa. I never refer to them as dad or father or like anything. Or in Tagalog, it'd be like tatay, nanay. I just call them mama, papa. But my mom refers to my maternal grandmother, aka her mom, as mommy, right? So like and because I grew up with my grandma and my mom, I also call her mommy. And actually, a lot of my cousins also call her that, but we add her name. Trying to think of a way to censor it. Oh, like if her name was like Remedios, like Remedios Varo, one of my favorite like surrealist artists, we would call her like Mommy Remy, right? Instead of just like, because I grew up calling her mommy, but like other people would refer to her like mommy, but with her name, so like Mommy Remy, for example. So yeah, I think maybe it's because like maybe your relatives probably called your grandma Nona for that same reason. When I was small, I called my dad Daddy, but when he remarried, I called him Papi because my stepmom called him that. Oh, okay. Papi. In Filipino fashion, her name is Mommy. Yeah. It's Mommy. Mama. Rin, hello. I call my dad Daddy, which can be very unfortunate when I see certain. Okay, yeah. So I have a friend who said that like he hates that Daddy has become, both Daddy and Mommy in a way, like has become like kind of sexualized. Like it's used to refer to like, oh, like especially like the meme of like mommy, sorry, because it's like that's how I call my parents. Also call him Baba. Oh, that's cute. I heard that, okay, so this makes sense, but like the reason why so many languages have like M as like the starting sound for mother is because when you think of it, when you see like a baby and they're trying to make sounds for the first time, one of the easiest sounds for a baby to make is just the M sound, because it's literally just like imagine like a baby that's like just babbling and they're just like, you know, letting out their voice and then like opening and closing their mouth. So it's like so that babbling, you know, like prehistoric people probably thought that like oh, they're saying mama, which is the word for mom, you know. Yeah, mom is almost universal, like mom or mama. And then same with like the words for dad, is usually either papa or baba, or something similar, because that's the next like sound that a baby can usually make. It's like, you know, mama, and then if you put a little bit of lip into it, it's like so like people in like ancient cultures or like prehistoric like people would just be like, oh, they're calling out to us, they're calling to me, the mommy and the papa. And of course there's languages that don't quite have that same those same, I guess, like not tradition, but sometimes like mom and dad won't have like those sounds, but you know, it's just something that you see like all around the world. I told her that one day and she like apologized and I didn't understand. Oh no. I call my grandparents Tata and Tato. Ah. Mom is almost universal. Yeah, baby. My mom told me my first word was moo. That's adorable. That's adorable. Moo. I think there's something very adorable about how like parents' fascination with their kids and just like oh my gosh, they're gonna say their first word. They're gonna say their first word. Moo. Wow. Like, I love that. That's so adorable. That's so wholesome. Dads get the whatever consonant. It's like ma 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 ma. Oh, the baby's referring to me specifically, says the mom, right? And then the next one, bat bat bat. What's the baby saying? I don't know. Probably referring to you or whatever. Da. And then there's the kids who are nonverbal till 4 and suddenly say doggy out of nowhere. I've seen those videos too of like especially neurodivergent kids who are nonverbal for a while. And then like when they say their first word, I feel like it's even more impactful because they were nonverbal for a while, right? And there's one where it's like, this first phrase was I love you. And as wholesome as it is, a part of me is like, is that really their first phrase? Like and then there's Japanese with oto and oka. Yeah, oka-san, oto-san. And then I think the formal way of saying mom and dad is haha for mom and oh what is it for dad again? Haha. Not Gigi. Gigi's like old man. Baba is like grandma. Why am I forgetting? Oh no. It's like pretty easy too. Apparently I said ball for 2 weeks straight and didn't say anything for like a month after that. Yeah, child development is like fascinating in that way, right? Kind of the story of my life, hyper focus on something, then give up on it. I found out when my niece was about 1 year old, she does that mum mouth movement when she's hungry, but her grandma thinks she's calling out to her mom. Oh, that makes sense too. If you say like mum. I think that does make sense. Gojikins, hello. Also, she developed a specific the specific like British like daddy. But only the word daddy. Chichi, yeah, you're right. Thank you, Rinrin. Thank you, Hanel. Yeah, Chichi. Daddy. But daddy, I'm hungry. Oh man, we've been talking linguistics this whole time. Not art. I said that oh yeah, I got distracted because I wanted to play one of these games, but they're AI powered and I don't wanna do that. So let's take it. Oh no, let's also, my mouse is glitching. I think it's running out of charge. I have to charge my mouse sometimes. Peppa Pig is corrupting the youth. I was thinking about this when I was washing the dishes this morning. Do you remember like a few years back? Like I remember when I was maybe either a teenager in my 20s, people were like, oh, there's a study that says that kids who watch SpongeBob are like, they have a lower IQ. And I remember like as an edgy teenager, like that wasn't able to watch SpongeBob like, as a kid, there was like a bit of confirmation bias where it was like, yeah, I don't watch SpongeBob and I'm smart. And now like in retrospect, it's like, what study did you do in order to like determine this? Because I call BS. Like I feel like for one, it was too recent to like do a study like that, right? And granted, like yes, stuff like what's it called? The YouTube Kids stuff. Like the my brain's not working today. Like the Cocomelon stuff, that is specifically designed like to just be like, you know, flashing lights and like that's specifically designed for little kids to kind of like get that short-term dopamine hit, right? And it is something that is like actually a concern for the growing youth, for the gen. It's not even Gen Alpha anymore, by the way. Did you know that like starting this year, the kids are Gen Beta? We're already at Gen Beta. Like, but yeah, it's like that's kind of terrifying though, the Cocomelon stuff. But I feel like SpongeBob gets a pass, you know? Like maybe it's because I'm a little biased. I didn't grow up watching it for specific reasons, but next gen will be Omega. No, wouldn't it be Omega's the last of the alphabet? Wouldn't it be Gamma? Gen what crumbles to dust? Because I think Omega's the last alphabet. So oh oh my god. This is just like Did I tell you about the Caesar story? The Caesar story. Oh my gosh. I had a friend who was like trying to tell me like a historical joke, and I took it way too seriously. Cause they asked me like, "Hey Binka, how did the Roman Empire get cut in half?" And I took it as like, who was the Roman emperor who like cut it into two parts? Because the Roman Empire did like, get cut into like the Western and the Eastern Roman Empire. I'm doing it right now. Oh my gosh. And it was like Emperor Diocletian who like cut the Roman Empire in half, right? And then I was like going into this whole spiel about like Emperor Diocletian and stuff. And then the person stopped me and they're like, "You cut the Roman Empire with a pair of Caesars." You cut the Roman Empire with a pair of Caesars. Twisty, hello. That's exactly what happened. Like me reading like, "Oh, the next gen's gonna be Omega." Actually. And then everyone else in chat is like, nodding. I love your dying being fully visible, dear PNGTuber. I'm leaving because I require sleep, not because of the joke. I'm leaving. Ready to catch up on some messages, and then we'll art appreciate, Sometimes I forget Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig is British. A good tangent nonetheless. Is that for the current gen? Yeah, so Gen Alpha and Beta. Alpha's already pretty cooked, but Alpha is like middle school age right now. Beta is every baby that's born after this year. Or this year, I think. Source, we made it up so people can confirm their biases. Exactly. Our study shows that kids in general are stupid, but here's something you can blame it on. IQ itself is massively flawed and unreliable. Yeah, I think of that one picture that's like it's like a whole bunch of animals lined up, like a fish in a bowl and like a bird and a human and a dog, and it's like, oh, whoever has the if you can climb that tree, you have the highest IQ. And it's like all these animals that like can't climb the tree or something like that. That's what it feels like. Cocomelon hurts my soul. Gen Beta, after that we should skip the rest of the alphabet and skip to Omega. You guys made the same joke. I can't believe you. I can't believe you've done this. Yeah, good night, Pickles. Good night. Out with a bang, explode. I'm Relief Avantage. Hello. Hello, welcome. Okay. Let's do this. Let's start with big whale over here. I was gonna say big fish, but whales are not fish. Let's start with this one. This is resin art, you guys. I thought this was I thought this was digital art. Like, let me. Large trout. Actually. Well, actually, to me, if whales look like this, would they still be considered, like in a fantasy world? Is it still mammalian? Right? Does it still feed the kiddos with milk? Okay, so like when I think when I first loaded the image, I saw this, right? I thought this was digital art. Like if you look at it cropped without like the hand, it looks like digital art. And I was like, "Oh wow, that's already cool," right? Like okay, let's look at this as if this is digital art, right? Like let's just say that this is the composition. First of all, like really cool coloring. Very atmospheric, and when I say atmospheric, it's like when you draw something that's underwater, it's very easy to just like, draw the thing and then just put like a blue overlay on it and some bubbles in the foreground, right? Like that's one really easy way if you want to do like an ocean scene. But if you want to like really elevate your underwater scenes, You can also just think of the colors beforehand, and there's this video actually. There's a video that shows like how colors are affected when they're underwater. So actually give me a second. Oh, we already have an ad break? I've been yapping for too long. Colors underwater. There you go. I'll show you guys this really quickly, and then I'll take you guys to the cup corner. So look, this is what the colors look like when it's near the surface. And then as they keep diving down, they become a little bit more bluer, or the hue changes a little, right? So Matthew, hello. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like, this is one way to kind of plan your colors if you're doing like an underwater scene. But you know what? Let's put you guys in the cup corner. Unless, wait, was the ad paused? I thought art appreciation was tomorrow. Wait, today is Thursday, right? Oh no, yeah. Today is art appreciation. It's because I'm going on mini vacay tomorrow. That's okay, Matthew. That actually works to our advantage. Thank you for pausing the ad. So yeah, if you want to kind of like elevate your underwater art, think about like what colors you're using. Like, let's say that you're drawing a Rand orb, right? Like a Randon orb, and he's green with like a red tuft of hair. So even though normally you would draw it with like this green or this green, you want to like think about like maybe drawing it with a little bit more of like a brighter neon green. And then instead of like the red tuft, it would be something closer to like a brown. So that's one way. That's one way. Imagine if someone could get tiny scuba gears to those tiny color cones. The scene from The Abyss where he is told to cut the black and white wire and not the blue and yellow wire. They both look exactly the same. I haven't seen The Abyss, but that seems stressful. But yeah, with that in mind, like if we imagine that this isn't like a 3D model and this is just like a digital like 2D art, like that's one thing already, is that like a lot of the colors are already very like blue and monochrome. Where it stands out actually is the eyes and a little bit of like the gums, right? The gummage. But I think like, even if that was like digital art, I kind of want to see how they did these red eyes, right? But that helps draw the eye because everything is very blue, right? So your eye would immediately be drawn, I would say here to the brightest part, but there's not really anything going on there. So the next place where your eye would be drawn would be to the creature's eyes, the red eyes. The red eyes black dragon, because it's a different hue than everything else. But other than that, like if you imagine that this is digital art, they did like a masterful work with like the shading, because it starts off pretty black here, and then you go down here, and it's almost like a gradient that turns into blue. And that also gives like a convincing kind of like underwater effect, that if you do shadows underwater, you can have like a gradient while still retaining the shape, because you see like the spikes here too. Kunai with chain. I play Time Wizard. Looks like a Magic the Gathering card. Yeah. Pretty cool to see how they make these resin dioramas. Yeah, if the whales look like that, Moby Dick would be part of the MCU. Wonder how it looks from a different angle. We'll check it out because there's a video on how to actually make this. So this is what not ruins, but this dispels the illusion that it's 2D art. It shows that this is like resin art, right? I don't know that much about resin art, but we are gonna find out a little bit right now. And we're gonna let's play this at a different speed, and then we'll also skip around. Oh, there's a bar for it now? That's crazy. I'll also turn off the volume because I don't want to steal content, but I do want to see how they made it. Oh, they're making the whale. Basically a diorama. I would like to... the picture is so cute. I've said in the past I'm not like really good with 3D art. I would like to one day get better at it. I have a friend and coworker that's really good at 3D art. But to me, that's why this is very fascinating. Yeah, so you're making the armature. That's the word, right? Foil and wire. Armature time. You can suspend things in resin. I find the carving, like that carving part, to be very satisfying. It's almost like visual ASMR. VSMR? Is that what that would be? Making the whale downtown. Walking fast, faces passing, I'm homebound. Oh, and the little ridges. Okay, the ad is gonna start for real in about a minute, so we'll put you guys in the cup corner then. I love the process too. Oh, the tongue. Oh, my mouse is like stuttering a little bit. Also, have you noticed that my model hasn't been stuttering that much? It's because Beans found a way to fix it. We kind of figured out what it was, but didn't really like troubleshoot it. But Beans found an alternative, and it's just connecting via USB, which I tried to do on stream, but it failed pretty miserably. So, all right, let me pause this. I'll put you guys in the cub corner while I plug in my mouse to charge. Have you played all the tools with ZBrush or Blender sculpt tools? Not yet. I'm scared of Blender. I'm scared of making that donut. All right, I'll talk to you guys after. I'll go over the Blender donut in a bit. Sulfuric acid. How dare you? Wait, why am I not moving? Uh-oh, do I have to reset? How dare you guys? How dare you? Yeah, I'm sorry, beeplebees. It does only work in the main room, but when we come back, it'll be surrealist. She's speaking through our minds. Stun locked, I'm afraid. Yeah, I saw all of your sins. That's why I was changing my face. How dare you? No, not the bomb! No! Yeah, you know what? Let's get back to the classroom. I think it'll be surreal. Yeah, look at that! We're in surrealism mode. If you want to see the change in real time, let me trigger it again. Let's run this. Okay, so that's back to that. And then ready? Wapow! She speaks through the speakers in the other because my god. Yeah, we have a surrealist classroom now, isn't it cool? This is the one that I think I spent the most time on. I had to put all those brush strokes in. What of the donuts? Oh yeah, so Blender. I experimented with Blender once and then I was like, wow, this is such a cool trick. Or not trick, this is a cool like thing to learn, right? I wonder if I can. Oh, that's right. I said I was gonna turn the apple into an asset and I didn't. What was I saying? So when you try to learn Blender, there's like a tutorial. I think one of the first tutorials you find if you Google like Blender tutorial is how to make a donut. And I think what step did I get to? I think I made the shape, but I couldn't make the texture for some reason. Like the brush I was using just wasn't working like how it was in the tutorial, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this someday, and I didn't. And I didn't. No. Yippee! Wahoo! Last language tangent. My aunt, a native. Oh, Hokkien, a consumer of AI generated narrated post videos. Oh no. Understands my English if I copy the AI generated accent compared to my regular accent. That's crazy. I just think of like the TikTok accent, the like, can you imagine if this were an apple? Oh my gosh. Well, that does go into the whole idea of like when you talk to well, when I talk to elders, like Filipino elders, like my grandma, because she's the only remaining grandparent I have, I find that it's easier for her to understand me if I say things with a Filipino accent. Like instead of saying like, oh mommy, I went to the grocery store and bought some apples. Like, oh mommy, I bought some apples from the grocery store. You know, if you have like a light accent, she tends to understand she tends to understand me a little bit better. And according to Beans, apparently, okay, when my little sister, she's 18 years younger than me, right? When she was a baby, I would speak to her in like baby talk all the time. Be like, oh, what did I call her? Binka sis. Like, oh, yo, Binka sis. Sus Binka sis. And then I didn't realize that like my baby talk was because I in my mind I was imitating my mom and like how she speaks to my siblings when they were babies. And it wasn't until Beans had like heard me with that accent once that he said that like, oh, the way that you quote unquote baby talk is basically a Filipino accent. And I'm like, oh, and now I can't like replicate it because my sister is like a teenager now. So I obviously don't talk to her with that accent, but it's just funny. I'm just like, Asus, I cute. Who's a cute baby? I realized the apple on my desk. It's cool, but it's also in my face. Get out of there. It is a meme at this point, but it's a good teaching tool. Maybe I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it with the donut. The dof nut. Like never coming back to that place ever again. We'll try again later. Yeah. I do want to try. I think 3D art would be really cool. I think just understanding things in 3 dimensions in a virtual space is kind of hard for me. Like, there's a Z? Like, I understand an X and a Y. You telling me there's a Z? My accent only comes out when driving. I missed the apple. Okay, where can we put the apple? Good evening, George. Where do we put the surrealist apple? We'll move it. Here, you guys can have it. You guys want the apple? There you go. You guys can have the apple. It's a surreal apple, so be careful when eating it. Good evening, George. Oh yeah, so we were checking out this resin art. Oh yeah, they're carving out the buildings. Oh. Can I hug the apple? Sure you can. Of course you can. Oh my gosh, the duckies. Cool. They got the little bit of architecture. I love all the tools that they use to put texture on it. It's so satisfying to watch the whole thing come together. Yeah, definitely. Cause like I've played with a type of air dry clay called Model Magic, and it does not compare to this at all. Like Model Magic is definitely for like people who don't have a lot of experience with 3D art, or even kids. It's very forgiving because it's less mess, right? Like Model Magic is basically like air dry clay, but it's not. I don't know how to describe it. Like I have a friend, I have a colleague who like actually carves in with clay, or who actually like works in clay, and she's like, yeah, this is kind of like clay for kids. Like Babby's first clay. But like even just playing with clay, I feel like if you use some of the techniques here, you know, it won't be perfect, but like I want to put texture on the air dry clay. We were talking about whittling last time, right? I want to learn how to whittle. But also like I have such a small space. I feel like I need to wait until like, oh wait, look at the colors this person's using. They started with like a red, and then they put like kind of a purple and blue, and then white. So that light part that we saw in the photo wasn't even it wasn't like the light source shining brightly on it. I think that part of the whale actually is the brightest part. That's pretty cool. I can hear the wire launching into the stratosphere when it gets clipped. It's kind of like when you clip your nails, right? Not you guys specifically, but like in general. Have you guys ever like been clipping your nails and like the nail just like flies away somewhere? It's like, oh, I guess that's for later, Binka. That's good. That's future Binka's problem now. And then you step on it. It's like, it's me. I'm future Binka. Oh, primed. I see. The undercoat, yeah. This artist is so like humble. They're like, I need to apologize. I've deceived you. They're so humble. Oh, so it is based off an illustration. Wait, that's so cool. That's so cool. Cause like I was saying like, oh, imagine this is like a 2D illustration, and the way they like took a photo of it is like the actual. That's awesome. Never, always extremely careful to not lose it. Always got to look for the old magics. Later that week, who left all these crescent moons on the floor? I know, I try to do my due diligence, and I do, contrary to how long my claws are, I do clip them occasionally. Can you imagine like the size of my claws and I'm just like leaving them around the room? Like, first of all, what kind of nail clipper am I using? This would be crazy, setting up a stop motion movie. Yeah. That'd be hard though. I feel like you would need a bunch of different like resin models. Or maybe it doesn't need to be resin if it's a stop motion, right? Resin is also really satisfying to see. Oh, you know what? This reminds me of those like resin art, the resin art where it's like a koi fish, and they do it like it's kind of like bottom up, and they do it layer by layer. So the koi fish, it's actually all just like 2-dimensional paint, but it's painted in a way that makes it look 3D. How did I get a star? How did I get a star? Maybe it is rigged. Bottoms up, hands up. I was used as a projectile. Why are you using your teacher as a projectile? That's against the class rules. It's good. You know what's something that would be a fun just chatting stream is us making class rules. It's not the normal stuff like be respectful to others, take care of our classroom. It's like don't use the teacher as a projectile. Don't eat to if you eat the asbestos in the drywall, don't throw it up. You got to go outside to do that. I have a keycap on one of my boards. It's a little resin water scene with a koi inside. That's so cute. Is that also very nice, like tactile wise too? Because if it feels like it would be. No eating the cars after, or it's like, well, you guys never listen to that rule anyway. I feel like it would be more so like, don't eat the cars after midnight. It's very smooth. Nice. Oh, here. There's the finished work. Wow. Oh my gosh, the eyes. Oh, that's the illustration. That's so cool. Very textured. With the wallpaper. Oh, that's cool. So like the little tiny fishes aren't even fishes at all. It's like the layers of paint and resin. Oh, cool. It's like one of those things that I see all the time with if you look at like landscapes and like these masterpieces that look really detailed, if you zoom in, they're not always as detailed as you might assume. It's not like the person painted every single fish with like extreme detail, right? It's more of like they put like just a couple of paint strokes, and to our eye it reads as like a bunch of little fishies. Yeah, it's so nice looking. If you must eat the car, start with the ones in the back to give us time to find a solution. Need to be just as enough for the brain to do the rest. Yeah, exactly. I think that's why I also like impressionist art a lot and post-impressionist. So this is like the works of like Monet and like Van Gogh. As the British say. Let me see if I can find an example. So like impressionist art. Ooh, you know what? This is actually one of my favorites. I'll show you. This one. We get open image in new tab. This one. This is actually one of my favorite impressionist works. This is by Claude Monet. And the whole thing with impressionism, the reason why it's called impressionism is because I don't know if this is what they literally do, but it's almost as if the painter looked at a scene and then turned around to paint like the scene itself, but without looking back. They kind of just have like the impression of the scene. That's that's the kind of vibe that impressionist artworks feel like. And this is well, if you really think about it, this is really just like a canvas with like a bunch of different paint strokes of different colors, right? Like if you zoom in, it's just like a paint stroke that went this way and that way and this way and that way and this way and that way. And then here they did like a big red circle. You can even see a little bit of the paint strokes in there. But when you zoom out, it feels like the scene that they're trying to depict. It feels like they're looking at a river and there's like industry, there's like smoke columns in the distance. The red circle is like a sun, you know, and not even just any sun. It's like a sun that's kind of obscured by like morning clouds or mist or even fog, right? Just a little bit of Bob Rossen. When scaling the school fence, start with the left leg nubble. Those are the class rules. So exactly what Gojikin said, like a lot of works of art like this is like it basically depends on your brain to kind of like fill in the gaps. I love this YouTuber because they always do cryptid creature dioramas. I love cryptids. Wait, I should check this guy out then. Impressionist art to me is just like no need for accuracy, just vibes. It's exactly. I think that's why I also like illusionistic art. I don't know if that's the actual title for it, but like skull. I think it's called like all is vanity. All is vanity. Here we go. There's a cool like illusion art. Funny story with this piece of work. There's another thing that I would want to show you guys. It's a project that I worked on. It's for another VTuber named Gavin Betol. Gavis Bettel. It's a let me see if I can actually find the link. It's an art gallery, but they all the artists, including myself, I was part of the project too. They replace all of the subjects with Gavis Bettel. Harry Styles. But this is one of the works that they did the art on. You know what? I know I'm kind of like going every which way with today's stream, but I want to show you Gavis Bettel Fine Art Gallery. So this was a anniversary project for Gavis Bettel because he expressed on a couple of streams that he likes art. The project tickled me so good. Yeah, I couldn't resist. Let's see. So let's go ahead and start. There we go. So yeah, even the background art was done by like specific artists. So each of these are like a famous artwork, but they replaced it with Gavis Bettel, right? So no, you can see my email. No, don't send me emails that are just like, what was the homework assignment? Miss Pinka, can I get an extension? I got really sick. So yeah, like this is the scream, right? There goes the VOD. Nah, the VOD's fine. You guys can know my email. Garlic butter. So this is based off The Scream by Edvard Munch. It's pronounced Munch. No, I'm kidding. I'm pretty sure it's like Munk or something. But yeah, I feel like you guys have probably seen the Scream, the original painting. Glorbus Borbus. Goobus bottle, garlic butter. So yeah, it's like these cool artworks, but in the style of Betol, Gavin Betol. Do this. There's this one by Van Gogh. God's Blunder, Geeble Beeble, Clorbus Borbus. This is a cool one. I didn't even know that Van Gogh did an artwork like this, right? But they replaced it with like his hat, with like Phantom's eye, the cigarette. If you guys want to see mine. Oh my god. This is... Wait. Fit width. Can we do that? Or fit width and height? There we go. Oh, actually, if Limmy is still in here, if you guys want to see Limmy's work. This one was drawn by Skylimit. This is based off... through this project, I actually found out about an artist that I had not like heard of before. Their name is JC Leyendecker, and it's because like I'm not really... Or in the past, I haven't really been into studying like American art, especially after like the 1900s. So this is from like the golden age of American illustration, and it's by an artist named J.C. Leyendecker, whose works are really cool. And this was done by Skylimit. Yeah, Leyendecker is awesome. I've seen his artwork before, but this was the first that I was really like learning about it. Can you please link to the project? Yes, of course. Let me see, Gavin Betol. Let me get that link to you guys right now. There you go. If you guys want to check it out for yourself. All about the men's fashion, yeah. Oh, thanks for shouting out Skylimit art. So yeah, there's like, this is the swing. I've talked about the swing before. Can we zoom in a little bit? Fill screen? Nah, this is about as big as we can go. So yeah, the swing, this is like a piece of... Is this Baroque or Rococo? It's Rococo art, and it seems very peaceful, but there's some naughtiness to it because the person over here is staring up this lady's skirt, this Gavin Bettel skirt, right? We have like this famous artwork. It's Bettelized. Oh, here we go. This is the artwork that I was talking about. It's an illusion, you see. And actually, give me a second. I'm gonna mute just for a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Beans just got back from some errands. Hee. But yeah, so this is based off a work called All Is Vanity. And it's funny because I was in charge of the accessible version of this project, and I remember like going through all of the entries, and also because I'm an art historian, just making sure that everything was also accurate, because they would also include the year and then the style. And there was, I forgot what work it was, but there was one that was marked as Impressionism, but it didn't really look like Impressionism. And for this one, they had marked the medium as illustration. I think initially they said painting. And for me, it was strange to see an artwork that was just labeled as painting, because usually when so if you don't know what medium is like, how was the work made? Is it digital? If it was physical, is it like oil on canvas? Is it acrylic paint on wood? Is it like a wood cut? Is it a drawing? Is it like a and even with drawing, you usually want to say like, oh, it's like a pencil drawing or like a pen drawing, that kind of thing, or graphite rather, they would say graphite. So to me, it was kind of strange that the medium, they had just put painting. And I was like, well, what kind of painting? Is it acrylic? Is it watercolor? Like, what is it, right? So I actually like attempted to do so much research into like this specific one, because I couldn't find anything on it. Like, I couldn't find anything on it. Like, there's obviously like a Wikipedia page, but all it told me is that this was published in a magazine for, I think it was like Life magazine or something, back in like 1892. I even tried to track down that magazine to see if it said like, is this a pencil drawing? Like, is this like a cut of some kind? And actually, like, looking at it, actually, I'm not sure. Maybe this is graphite? Maybe this is ink? I actually cannot tell. But I just remember like going into like researching it, and I was like, they just put painting. I want to find out what it is, right? I can't make jokes about the medium being TikTok anymore. They don't know where the original is. Yeah, like I was even having trouble finding the original, other than the fact that it was published in Time magazine, right? But yeah, the texture does make it look like it's either charcoal or graphite, because you can see kind of like the smudginess, especially here. So it made me go down this whole entire rabbit hole, and by the end I just told the person in charge, like, instead of don't put painting, put like illustration, because I can't find it for sure. As much as I want to say that it's like coal or graphite, like charcoal or graphite, like I can't say for sure, so just put illustration. And that's what they ended up doing for this one. I think they put medium as illustration. A lot of stuff made for magazines probably either destroyed or in someone's attic. Yeah, exactly. So that's a little aside about this painting in particular, as well as the piece that inspired it. But yeah, so from far away, your brain is kind of like putting together the picture that this is a skull. But if you are to zoom in, it just looks like a pretty lady that is looking at herself in the mirror, right? But then you see like she has like a bunch of bottles here, and then the tops of those bottles look like, when you zoom out, they become the teeth. This like shadow over here is like where the nostrils are, and then all the dark parts are like the eyes. So I think illusionistic art like that is also really cool, alongside impressionistic art. So yeah, that is all of that conversation came from this conversation about the resin art. So really cool stuff. Thank you, Shiopi, for recommending that. And now at this point, we can keep on going, or we can even look at other... Oh, I didn't even show you the artwork that I made for this project. There's a lot of really cool artwork here, you guys. So there's the guy looking at In Distress, The Desperate Man by Gustave Courbet. This one's really cool because the person actually did use I think acrylic on canvas. So a lot of these works are digital, and not to say that, you know, any art is lesser for using digital, but this person went the extra mile, and they actually use like acrylic paint on canvas to paint this. So that's really cool. Let's see. Oh, this one's really cool. This one is based off The Wanderer Above the Sea Fog. But instead, this is In Search of Promise, Gav's Better Land. Oh, this one's based off Frida Kahlo. It's the two, instead of the two Fridas, it's the two Bettels. And Frida's one of my favorite. Frida Kahlo's one of my favorite surrealist artists too. There's another one by was it JC Leyendecker? And yeah, like Owen had said, a lot of it is kind of like highlighting men's fashion. So if you see the original for this, it's very like very sharp, very I don't know how quite how to describe it, but I like how he does like this kind of like wishy-washy background because it kind of draws more attention to the actual figure. I wish I could look at each and every one of these because they all like every artist did like an amazing job. This is one of my favorites. Self-portrait with Death playing the fiddle. Wait, did Brandon start streaming? Oh my god, he did say that he was gonna do a. Oh, he's playing Balatro. He'll be streaming for a while. So I'm probably gonna raid into him after this. Okay, but yeah, this one's funny because it's based off of an illustration that Bettel did himself, but to see it done in like freaking oil painting style is so funny to me. Because it has like the smooth strokes and everything, but it has like the contorted, you know, like the contorted proportions. Okay, if you guys want to see the one that I know I keep on saying like, well, look at the one that I made, and then I keep pausing to be like, oh, but this one's really cool. There's another JC Leyendecker one. Very sharp, right? Very like fashionable. It kind of has that like 1920s, 1930s vibe, right? Ophelia in the pond. And then here we go. This is the one that I made. It's based off a painting called Escaping Criticism by what is this? Pere Borel del Caso. So it's him escaping criticism. This one like took so long to do as well because like I don't usually do painterly. I do like painterly style, but it's not the quickest way to like get a piece of work done. But it's one of those things where like if you want to just turn your brain off and just like experiment with like digital brushstrokes, painterly is the way to go. Looking forward to whatever stream he uses that as a thumbnail for. I hope he does. If he doesn't, that's totally fine as well because it's in like, you know, portrait style rather than landscape. But yeah, I did see that he is using a lot of the artwork for thumbnails. So, like, yeah. I like this one too. This is based off the death of Marat, which is like a French, a figure during the French Revolution. But this is the death of Gavin Bettel. And then, let's see. Oh, this one's based off The Kiss by Gustav Klimt. If you guys are not familiar with the works of Gustav Klimt, his proportions are very interesting, but I also like kind of just like the texture and design. I'll show you guys the original for this. Most likely you've probably seen something similar to like the original, The Kiss by Gustav Klimt. I associate this painting with Elfenlied because I was an edgy student, edgy middle school or whatever, and I was like, wow, that's rad. This anime is all about blood and guts and gore and stuff. But the ending to it featured the main characters, but in this style. So this is this is The Kiss by Gustav Klimt, and then like I just really like all the gold. I really love all the gold, and then this use of texture for the figures outfits. And I like how they keep with a pretty consistent texture to differentiate between the two people. So this is like a male presenting figure embracing and kissing a female presenting figure. The background is like gold, but you see a little bit of like geometric shapes in it. Let me go ahead and zoom in. I think that's as much as we can zoom in. So yeah, you see some geometric shapes here. So the male presenting figure, or the person that is like embracing this figure, their outfit is consistently like these black and white rectangles, right? So it keeps going down, 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 down. And then there's another texture here. There's also these little like gold loop-de-loops too. But they keep it consistent so that you know that this is meant to show like this male presenting figure over here. Meanwhile, the female presenting figure, her whole motif the symbols that she has is mostly flowers, and she also has a little bit more color too. Like in their hair, they have like blue and green and white, and then you see that same blue down here. They also have purple and pink, and then over here is red and green. So there's a little bit more color, and it's consistent, so you don't confuse the two figures for each other. So even if it's like this huge gold mass, you can make out their body parts, basically, like their shoulder, their hand, and you can make out what's going on in the scene. So I think that's really cool. And you can see that they're in a field of flowers. Gotta get going. Thank you for showing the Battle project. Yeah, of course, of course. It was a lot of fun to work on. So let's see. Put that away. So yeah, that's what this painting is based off. I like how this artist, they went with the whole texture thing. All the flowers are Phantom's eyes. All of the rectangles are like the hat, right? Same here. You see a whole bunch of like Phantom eyes. And then the textures are even based off like the textures in Bettel's outfit as well. So there's like these kind of like diamond shaped ones. So yeah, all really cool. All of the artists, like I know I only highlighted like less than 10, but all the artists did like an amazing job. So big shouts out to them. Okay, so we have this artwork. Actually, how about this? I'm gonna take a voice break. I'm gonna take a little bit of a voice break so that I can sip on some water. So you guys feel free to explode each other for a little bit. Maybe like a minute or so. So I'll be back in like a minute. Okay. Cool. I think that warm up actually helped a lot. Cause I do feel my voice like getting a little croaky, but I don't feel as tired as I usually am. So we have here, I actually haven't checked out the works of this person before, so let me do a quick check of something. Yeah, this should be fine. Warm-ups, yeah, the vocal warm-ups are really handy. Same with drawing too. You nork, you yerk. You nork, you yerk. Sent to the armed forces to spectate what war does to the human psyche. Me too. Oh, that's a little bit of lore about this person. So this person, let me see if I can read this text. Zovari Koslitka? Koslilka? It sounds like vaguely Slavic. Oh, they do kitty cats. They do art of kitty cats. And people. Oh, there's some booba. Oh, okay, there's a little bit of like blood and stuff and cuts, which, you know, I don't mind at all, but I do want to be mindful of folks who do mind it, so we'll stick to this painting. Maybe in another world, I am 10 years old in my childhood bedroom with my cats. A long-awaited reveal. This painting is 40 by 50 and is massive. Is that inches or like? Cause man. Okay, let's see what we have here. I actually don't know, yeah, what kind of like paint this is. It looks like it could be acrylic, but I've also never worked with oil, so I know that with oil, it's really easy to blend. So let's see what we can figure out here. So I'm seeing, so first off, with any piece, let's break down our process for art appreciation, right? So there's different questions you can ask, but the one that I like to start with is what's going on here? What's going on in this this painting? So to me, it looks like I see a couple of cats, 4 cats in military gear. They're all surrounding a person who seems like they might be bleeding out, or they might be injured in a way. and their eyes are closed, meaning that they might be like asleep. Behind them looks like a window with like clouds and stuff, and it doesn't look like it should be in place in like this grassy field, right? Over here in the corner, I'm seeing, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Oh no, I don't think I can. This is as big as I can make the picture. It looks like a house or maybe even like a tent that is on fire. And then this person's also like on a surface that looks kind of cloudy. So I want to say that maybe this is like the last death throes of a person who got injured. They're like, you know, deathly injured. They're drifting off into like what could be nice little sleep, but for everyone else it might actually be that he's dying. So that's what I think is going on. And the follow-up question would be, what do you see that makes you say that? Right? So for me, this person's face, they have their eyes closed, but they're also bleeding. And if you're in a lot of pain and you're bleeding, you're not going to be looking this serene. But this person does look kind of serene. Their face is kind of relaxed. It doesn't have like the lines that oh, you know what? I think there's, oh, there we go. We can actually like zoom in a little through the other parts of the picture. If the person was like, you know, cringing in pain, or if they were in pain, you would see a little bit more lines around their face, right? Or they might even be like baring their teeth in pain. But you don't see that. This person looks like they're just sleeping. There's no like strain lines around. So they look very serene, right? And behind them, let's see. Oh my gosh. Jump scare. Oh, this is such a good detail. Okay. So those are the details that we can see. Behind them, or rather, let's start with what they're on top of. It looks like it could be a bed. It looks like it could be clouds. It's white. It's nice and light, and there's like cool colors in as opposed to like a lot of the like red or darker or harsher colors that you see. It's very serene. And then behind him is like what looks like a window with like curtains, and then there's like a nice little, this could either be like a moon in the clouds or a sun in the clouds. So it almost feels like this guy is drifting off to sleep, almost like he's going to bed. But if you look at his surroundings, you know, there's this cat with it looks like there's the Red Cross on it. This cat especially looks really freaked out. This one looks kind of like neutral face or maybe uncertain. And then this one, this could just be a cat being like meow meow. But it could also be interpreted as like they're yelling, right? They're yelling. And then I think what's most striking is in the corner is this like burning building or burning circus. So it's a chaotic scene. And yet this guy is very serene. And because they have like war or like military outfits on, it makes me wonder if he was like a casualty of war. This person is like a casualty. His like teammates are around him trying to either wake him up or like, you know, like help him out. But the fact that he's like drifting off means like, I wonder if that means that he's like dying, basically. It's very it's a contrast. It's like very peaceful here, very chaotic everywhere else, especially with this cat in the foreground that we're clearly meant to look at because it's like one of the biggest features of the painting. And the eyes are like wide. They're like, oh my gosh, my friend is dying. You know? So that's what I'm kind of getting from this. It's like a PTSD moment of like, oh my gosh, my friend. The caption is also really interesting. Wait, actually, let me read what you guys are saying. 3 are those there are those medieval tapestries where the guy is getting sort of just looks like a little inconvenienced by the whole ordeal. Yeah, like the one where it's like the guy who's getting stabbed like through the head, and he's just like he just has his like head on his hand, and he's just like boring. Which, you know, that might be the case with the medieval drawings. This one, I feel like there's a fair amount of symbolism, but, you know, it might be open to interpretation. I could very much be wrong, especially, like, I'm looking at the caption. The caption here, maybe in another world I'm 10 years old with my childhood bedroom, in my childhood bedroom with my cats. Oh, this is, okay. In another world I'm 10 years old in my childhood bedroom with my cats. So this reads then more as, like, the title of the painting is maybe what this soldier is thinking, that he's like the cats, the this like soft surface, the window, That's all an illusion. That's what he's thinking about right now. In reality, he's in this grassy field with the fire. He might even be this cat that looks all freaked out. Like, these two might be one and the same. And there's a mix of reality and like fantasy, what he's daydreaming about. So the daydream is that he's in his bedroom with his cats, but the reality is that like he's surrounded by like a medic and like other soldiers that are like, no, don't die, don't close your eyes, you can't, you know. So it's almost like a mishmash of those two things. And I think what's interesting is that like the bedroom covers, the sheets, they're white, they're very light colored, which that's what made me think that this guy's drifting off to go to heaven. Basically, he's dying and he's going to heaven. He's on a cloud. I do feel like that might be intentional. So I don't know, very very interesting. It's definitely like a melding of the two ideas of like the horrors of war. And then like this amidst the horrors of war, this guy's like, I wish I was just in my bed. I wish I was with my cats. It's kind of like a sad thought of like, what if this is this guy's like last thoughts, right? But man, it's kind of intense. To me, material wise, I feel like this is acrylic, by the way, because this canvas. You can also use oil paint on canvas, but this looks less like the colors are mixed together and more like they're layered on top of each other. Let's see if I can find something that like shows what I'm thinking. Okay, so you guys see like there's like a red outline around the kitty cats. There's like a red outline. I feel like what it is that's the underlayer. This artist started first with like a red underlayer and then they painted over it with like other colors. And the cool thing about like underlayers, like when you start off with like a layer of like red or orange and then you paint over it, even if you like completely paint over it, you're still gonna see either the lines or it's gonna like a little bit of that shade is gonna shine through. Like you can see here on the green jacket, there's a little bit of red that like shines through. So that does kind of affect like the atmosphere of like of the piece. It's kind of like when we were looking at the resin art with the whale. If you did like an underpainting of blue, even if you paint like a vibrant red over it, you still get that like blue vibe. It's almost like an overlay layer. So I think that's pretty interesting. And then like I said with acrylic, the thing with acrylic, so okay, rewind. Acrylic paint and oil paint. I've never dabbled in oil before, but from what I know, oil takes a while to dry, and because of that, it's actually really easy to mix the paints together. So when you see like transitions, it's a pretty smooth transition. So for example, there's like this bright blue and then there's like a bright green. They would actually mix together to be something like a teal, something like this. But this feels a little bit more layered because with acrylic paint, it dries actually really quickly. It dries within like a minute or so. So you actually don't have a lot of time to mix paints while it's still wet. For that, you actually have to depend on what's it called? What's it called? It's not an easel. A palette. Oh, it's called a wet palette. It's a wet palette. So, wet palette is basically it's a palette, but it stays moist. It stays moist so that you can your paints won't harden. Because once they're hardened, you can't really use them anymore. It's kind of a waste. So you want to keep them either in their plastic tubes or their metal tubes, or you want to keep them in the wet palette. This is opposed to say watercolor, where like even if it hardens, you can reactivate it with water. Once acrylic hardens, it's done. But the cool thing is that you can paint over acrylic, and that's what it looks like is happening here. The person painted first with red, and then they did a layer of like this kind of like forest green, and then they put like other shades of green on top. So like a teal green, a blue green, a green that's a little bit closer to yellow. So it looks like it's more layered rather than mixed, if that makes sense. So that's why I think it's acrylic, but I could easily be wrong. But yeah, really cool stuff. So, and it's very heavy with symbolism. I like it. Yeah, if you guys also want to see more of this person's work, their handle on Instagram is a girl Panthera or Pantera. There seems to be a common theme. There's like military themes with like the kitty cats. It's like whimsical, but also kind of dark in a way. Take me like a cat nap. Is it a sin to stay waking up to your face? Is it wait. Take me like a cat nap. Is it a sin to say waking up to your face is a blessing? Aw, that's very sweet. Finished this in 2 days and submitted it for the jury 3 minutes before it was due. Oh no, they procrastinated. They procrastinated. Oh no. Oh, let me mute for a second. Okie dokie. So yeah, check out this artist. They do some pretty cool stuff. Even though this is my first time seeing them. Oh, their pencil art is also pretty cool too. But I also don't want to face the wrath of Twitch TOS. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. So those were the 2 artworks that were added to Art Appreciation over at the Discord. I think I saw that Mayshark had also put something, but oh, and Dove, you also put some stuff in there as well. Let me check out what Dove put on there. Maybe we could look at it right now. Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. So let's look at the works that that Dove had put on there. And then I think I am starting to run out of energy. I know we haven't even been going for 2 hours yet, but let's do like maybe 2 hours 30 minutes or something, and then I think I'll raid out into Wandon. To Wandon. Because I do want to take a look at a little bit of Edward Hopper. He's actually one of my favorite artists as well. Okay, so let's look at this plastic_pots.png. It's recommended by Dove. Ooh, interesting. I love the texture. They have I'm assuming this to me looks like it's digital, but it's what I like to call digital painterly. I really like this one. Kermie. What did I do it for you, Kermie? Oh, which one do I want to start with? I'll start with this one. Then we'll go with this one and this one. So these 2 cells are a little bit different. This one compared to this one. This one it feels like it's meant to be a little bit more painterly. But this one seems more like, I don't quite know how to say it, but it's like illustrative. Like it looks very much like a storybook. And there is still kind of like painterly brush strokes in it. But it's a little bit I don't quite know how to say it. Like the shapes are a little bit more refined. Let's see if I can. Oh, okay. I thought I could probably zoom in, but I think this is just a different artwork. Pretty cool though. Really cool. And just as a review of what I mean by like painterly. So painterly is a style in which you can see the brush strokes. This is opposed to, the thing is, like, I'm losing my words with like what the opposite is. It's basically like sometimes artists will want people to see the brush strokes because then it kind of gives it a little bit more of like an artistic vibe where it shows that like, yeah, I made this out of paint, right? There are other artists, especially historically, that didn't want that look. The ones that I can think of are like Netherlandish artists, and these are artists like I think Jan van Eyck is one of them. Give me a second to Google him. Jan van Eyck. One of Jan van Eyck's famous paintings is this one, is The Couple, the Arnolfini portrait. Whereas like instead of seeing the brush strokes, the figures just look like what they're meant to portray. So this looks like a person, you don't see any brush strokes. This fur coat is supposed to look like a fur coat. You don't see the brush strokes. This dress looks like it's a dress that is made out of fabric, right? There's even like ruffles here. So they did in the case of like Jan van Eyck, this artist, I believe they use a technique where they just layered a whole lot of like oil paint, like layer on layer on layer, so that you don't see the brush strokes at all. And one of the, I guess, philosophies as to why artists would do that is because they wanted to make it seem like just like how humans and everything in the world was like made by God, according to what you believe in. They wanted that same message to be obvious in the artwork as well. They didn't want it to look like it was made by human hands, but made by like godly hands. They wanted to kind of reflect real life in a way. So it was supposed to be this vibe of like, yeah, God made people and humans, and even though I made this like artwork based on people and humans, it is based on the gifts that God gave me, that kind of thing. Yeah, very smooth. Yeah, exactly, Nixie, exactly. So the opposite of that would be painterly, where you can see the brush strokes. Personally, I'm a fan of like brush strokes. I'm a fan of painterly. I kind of like seeing kind of the artist's, for me, seeing painterly is like seeing the artist's hand, if that makes sense, right? But I think what's fun about playing with painterly style, it's the same with like that illusionistic style that we were talking about earlier. It's the same with like impressionistic, is that when you zoom in, what I like is that it's almost as if you see the painterly strokes, it's almost as if you could say like, oh, I can do that then. I feel like this is something I can do. This star over here, it didn't take like a million strokes to make. It's just two. It's just 1, 2. It's just horizontal. It's vertical, horizontal. And you have yourself a little sparkle, a little star. This tree over here, you could see the amount of strokes it took for them to make like, here's one big stroke, here's a small one, and a smaller one. So to me, I think that's why I like painterly, and you could definitely see it in the background. But the more you look at, say, the hair of this figure, it reminds me more of that Netherlandish style. They did layer on layer on layer on layer of brushstroke to the point where, like, when zoomed out, it reads as hair. It doesn't read as a bunch of brush strokes. It reads as hair. Same with like the dress. It's like a mishmash. It's like a mishmash. Ooh, I like their use of color on the horse too. I wish I could zoom in a little bit more, but like, take a look. This horse is supposed to read as like a white horse, right? With like blonde hair. Very cool already. If you look here, like on the muscles where the mid-tone meets the shadows, they used a pink color. They could have just went with like a tan color, but no, they used like this kind of, even to us, it looks vibrant. If you were to actually color pick this like pink color, it would actually be something a little bit more dull. But the way that they use it, it makes it so it looks really vibrant. And I really like that, actually. Yeah, I did. It's something that's like, it's a very light touch. I love it. I love it a lot. But what was the name upon the rider of the white horse? It was Death. Wait, it's Death, right? Is it Death? I didn't even notice the caption. This is such a beautiful like artwork with like beautiful techniques, and then rides horse. Whoa, dude, I'm on a horse. Falls off horse. Oh, ish, dude, I fell off the horse. Gets back on the horse. Whoa, dude, I'm on a horse. Falls off. I fell off. Gets back. Kicks peasant in the stomach. Throws coins at peasant. Bruises peasant with gold coins. It's like so majestic, and then the caption is like this. I love this person. I love plastic_pots. Amazing artist. New favorite as of like 20 seconds ago. Ooh, you remember how we were talking earlier about how like you don't have to like put a billion like little, like the detail doesn't have to be so detailed. The little like lace here on the dress, it looks like it was just made with a couple of smooth movements of the brush. It looks effortless, but when it's zoomed out, it reads really well as lace. I like that a lot. Oh yeah, so going back to the color, by the way, you have like the pink, this kind of a I forgot what it's called, like scattered light, refracted light. The pink coloring is really cool, and then there's also these little touches of blue, like this bright blue. And actually, that I'm not sure if these are like little touches that they added after, or if this is actually the underpainting. They're like starting layer, because remember how we were talking about that with the cat one, how the red was probably the underlayer. Maybe the blue was, or maybe this is actually an extra stroke that they added at the end. Really, really nice. I love their work with like the lighting and everything. We're gonna enter into our last ad break for the evening. But I think what I'm going to do is I still want to review these two, but maybe just for a shorter time. So how about this? We'll send you guys over to the parking lot. You guys have fun in there, and then when we come back, we'll finish off with plastic pots, and then maybe a teensy bit of Edward Hopper. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. We were just getting hungry. Oh no. Oh, thank you for stopping by, Gojikins. Thank you. Have a good one. And have a car on the way out. You guys are lore crafting? You're theory crafting? You know, it's always the same cards that are here. It's been months. I don't think the owners are coming back. What if the owners had lore? Like one moved away due to redacted and is now redacted. Turns out they just spilled ketchup in the car from eating the fries and they don't want to clean it up. No, what I know, instead of a parking lot, this is just like a you know, where the cars go to die. Oh no, it's getting impounded. Oh well, that means more meals for you guys, right? More meals for you guys. Okay, let's get back. Let's keep on looking at the cool art of plasticpots.png. I realized too that when I say that you can't see the I guess the painter, I'm looking at my OBS screen, and because it's a little bit smaller, I don't know how well you guys can see the kind of the painterly style, but it's really cool to look at. You know what? I'll link this in the chat so you guys can see as well. They all parked their cars and got isekai'd by a bus that I wonder who was driving that bus. Or someone left moldy cheese and the seats got moldy too. Oh no. There we go. So this is the I just put in the chat the link to this one. Yeah, you can definitely see a little bit more of like the painterly style with this one and then the other one as well. I really like it because, for example, the face definitely seems to have a lot of layers on it, a lot of layers of digital paint, so to speak. But then you see where it's almost like one or two brush strokes, like where the bangs are kind of meeting, and it kind of I like that because then it shows like how feathery the bangs of the hair are, right? The whole thing with like painterly style is that it can also lend itself well to texture. And if the artist were to put more and more layers, then it wouldn't seem so feathery, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, people have different hair types, right? But here it kind of adds to this feeling of like it being really wispy, really light. I also like the colors of this one. Like, there's the slightest, like the white of the geese isn't like, you know, hex code FFFFF, right? It seems like it's more of like a dark, like almost like it's almost pinkish in a way. It's almost pinkish. I like it. And it gives us this old like photography vibe as well. Really nice colors. And here it's Kermie. And I do it for you, Kermie. When all I do it for you. Okay, so kind of say I really like the vibes of this one. It feels very like kind of a, oh my god, are there captions just always like this? I just noticed this. Look at I didn't even notice the caption is like this. Oopsie teehee. Strokes your hair gently. Shoots you 10 times. Like, these are beautiful, gorgeous works, and the captions and the captions are like this. I love them. I burst into tears. Alone in a dark room. Oh no. I'm like looking at the fur texture here too. For me, I think one way to kind of summarize this artist, if I could, would be like subtle but very effective texture work. I also like the vase here. How there's like that little, just that one stroke of like that light color. It adds to like the vase being like shiny in a way, like almost like glazed ceramic. Very cool. Very cool. I think I am definitely running out of energy, so I think we're going to finish off on Edward Hopper. But yeah, if you guys want to check out more of this artist's work, and put it in chat. This is plastic_pots.png. Thank you, MixItUp, for recommending this artist. Oh yeah, their works are so cool. I'm gonna give them a follow actually. Oh wait, no, that's not what I meant to do. This one, follow. If they have like a Bisky or a Twitter, I think I might follow them on there too. This is really nice. The texture, it feels so like, it feels like I'm seeing like an actual like oil painting. Thank you for the art analysis. Of course, of course. I love doing it. I love giving the art analysis. All right, we're gonna end off on an artist named Edward Hopper. I think we talked about this artist a couple of times before. They're one of my favorites, and they explore this idea of isolation, loneliness, alienation, And like when it comes to themes like that, these are all like, you know, kind of negative terms of like, oh no, feeling isolated and lonely, and people might usually associate that with like somber colors, right? But Edward Hopper's colors aren't always so somber. They're bright actually, but they make he sells that feeling of isolation more with composition and how the work is like arranged. So this is one of his famous works. This is Nighthawks. It was made in 1942. And it's just some folks at a diner, really. It's some folks at a diner. If you are just kind of like looking at this at first glance, it just seems like it's a scene out of the 1940s. Like they're just at a diner, they're having some food. But there's a lot that Hopper does with like I said, the composition that really adds to this idea of like they're lonely, they're separated from one another. For one, if we wanted this painting to just be about, wait, you know what, we can zoom in. We can zoom in. Yeah, there you go. If we zoom in here, that feeling of loneliness it's not so lonely anymore. This really does feel like it's just like a scene from, oh, there we go. We can zoom in even more. You can almost like hear the sound in this painting. Like maybe these two are chatting with each other, or they're chatting with like the person behind the counter, right? This person might just be like thinking and stuff. But that's not the whole picture. This is the whole picture. Oh, let's zoom in again. There's a lot of empty space here. It's not literally empty because there's rectangles here for the windows. There's a lot of like background stuff, but there's not another soul on this street, right? There isn't another person. Everything is kind of shut down for the day. The painting is called Nighthawk, so presumably these are people in the middle of the night that are dining here at this diner. If you notice, this person is kind of like off to himself. There's nothing really surrounding him. Yeah, it's the only source of light too. It's the only source of light. Like the lightest thing here is like the interior of this building, right? Another thing that I think this article also says is that you don't really see an exit or an entrance here. There is this door, but we don't know if that leads to outside or if it just leads to like the bathroom or like the back room of like, you know, where this guy gets, you know, like his ingredients for whatever it is he's cooking for his kavafi. So there is this feeling of isolation. So this guy's all by himself. These two, like this trio, could be talking to each other. In fact, this guy's mouth is open, so most likely he might be talking to one of them. But they're not really looking at each other. They're not like immediately like conversing with each other. The slightest bit of like human contact we see is like the hands over here, and even then that feels more consequential. It doesn't feel like they're about to hold hands. It feels like they're just in a conversation and they're kind of looking off to the side. They're not really talking to each other. Let's see what else this has to say. Carefully constructed composition with lack of narrative. It's timeless, universal, transcends a particular locale. All lost in their own thoughts have congregated. Let's see. Hopper eliminated any reference to an entrance. And the viewer drawn to the light is shut out from the scene by a seamless wedge of glass. Ah, that's something that I didn't really note is, yeah. It's almost like we're looking at a fishbowl. Yeah, they do. They have very distant looks on their faces. Like, if they were chatting with each other, they might have, like, you know, just a little bit more emotion to them. Like, oh, they're talking about the latest, I don't know, football game. But instead, they all look, you know, distant. Not even bored, really. It's just, it's because bored is an emotion. It feels like this is more emotionless, you know? But yeah, the whoever penned the article also said that, like, we're also separated from these folks because of the glass. At first, we don't even notice the glass, really, but if you look over here, there's, like, an implication of the glass. So it's almost like we're looking at a fishbowl. It's almost like we're the fifth character in this, right? Like, it's kind of like, I think I mentioned this before, but when I was part of like the Filipino club in my college, our dance rehearsals would go late. It would go into like midnight. I remember they stopped doing midnight, you know, like practices or practices that went on until midnight, like pretty recently. But back in my day, we used to go until late at night. And it was fine because we were all in a group. We were all with each other and we like trusted each other, all that stuff. But then occasionally, because we would do our rehearsals like out in like an outdoor stage area, occasionally we would see other students, like other college students, and that would kind of weird us out because our thing that we would say is like, I know what we're doing here. What are they doing here? Like, it's midnight. What are they doing here? And then we do this thing where it's like, but they're probably looking at us and they're thinking, I know what I'm doing here. What are they doing there? So that's kind of like the same feeling here is like, oh, all these people are here congregating. We don't know if this is 7 p.m. We don't know if this is 2 a.m., right? So it's like we're walking by and we're seeing all these people and we're like, I know what I'm doing here at 2 in the morning. What are they doing here at 2 in the morning? My girl's disassociating. That feeling when you take a stopover at Denny's at 4 a.m. during a road trip. For me, it was my early 20s when I used to like party more with the friends, right? And then all the bars and clubs and well, I didn't really go clubbing. I went to the bar with my friends. The bars would close at 2 a.m., right? And then everyone's feeling kind of peckish. They're feeling kind of hungry, so we go to the diner. We go to the Denny's. We go to the Denny's because that's the only place that's open 24 hours. And Denny's after 2 a.m. is like another world entirely. It's another world entirely. So that's kind of like, it's kind of giving this where everyone's kind of like silently eating their food at the Denny's after being like blackout drunk at the club. But it's a little bit more somber, right? So yeah, that's one of his most famous works. But if we were to look at some of his other works as well, they also have this theme of kind of like alienation, loneliness in a way. Let's see if we can find some. There's this one. I actually haven't seen this one. He has a couple of works that are around a theater. It's called the Sheridan Theater. I've never actually seen this one. The scene from the Batman where they catch the Riddler. Is that what this is? It's been a minute since I've watched it. Not the oh no, I think I'm thinking the wrong. Am I thinking of the Dark Knight? Where Scarecrow is played by the Peaky Blinders guy. The Peaky Blinders. But this also kind of explores that whole idea of like isolation, right? Because there's 3 people here. There's 3 people in this artwork. There's 1, 2, 3. But this person's all isolated by themselves. And the thing is, this isn't even like a somber place. This doesn't even use somber colors. It's like yellow and orange and red and brown. It's a very warm palette. This person's wearing red pants or a red skirt, right? And yet, like, by the way that the composition is, the fact that this person's all by themselves, they're even surrounded by like the darker parts of the painting. It has this idea of like isolation, lonely. It's like you can be in like a bustling location, but if you're by yourself, you're by yourself, right? Let's see if oh, this doesn't even have like a little bit of a spiel to it. I think there's another one here. 2 on the aisle. Oh, this one gives me an interesting feeling. This is like you got into the theater too early. Or you stayed too late, right? Because like this is another theater one, but like we only see like three folks in here. Even though like if they're seeing a show, normally like all these seats would be full, right? This isn't even like the bustle of like the pre-show where like everyone's like waiting for the curtains to rise. This is either like really really early on, or this is really really like after the show. In which case, that makes you question, like, why did they stay so long when everyone else has already left, right? Maybe they're trying to beat traffic. Because I saw me and Beans and our family, we saw Wicked at a theater, and we ended after Wicked, we went to like a food truck nearby, and the food took so long that by the time we got our food, there was no traffic. There was like everyone else that had gone to see Wicked, they were gone. They're waiting. Yeah, they're waiting for the after credits scene. They want to know if Pagliacci joins the Avengers. Samuel L. Jackson's gonna pop out of nowhere. He's like, "You've been asked to join the Avengers initiative." Arriving to class 1 hour early. Oh my gosh. I remember my first year of college, I accidentally did that. I arrived to class an hour early. And of course, there was still another class before. So I was literally just sitting outside of the class for like an hour. And like, I had a cell phone back then, but this was back before like they were smartphones. So I was literally just like reading over my notes and like rewriting my notes to be neater for like the hour. And it's because I think it was something like I think I rode the bus, and if I had ridden the bus any later, I would have been late to class. Happens to the best of us. The best of us. 2 on the aisle. Yeah, there's no other like information about this painting, but they're either really early or they're really late. Maybe really early because she's reading the pamphlet. It's almost like she's trying to desperately find out what this show is about. You're like, who's this Pagliacci person? I did that so I can sleep in the dark classroom and not be late, but I spoke to my professor for the first few weeks. Ah, cool. Yeah, it depends on like how cool your professor is, because I've definitely had professors where I'm like, I would rather not speak to them any more than I must. But I also had some pretty cool ones. I had a cultural anthropology professor who was like kind of a dude bro. And it's funny to have like a dude bro professor because like they'll be like talking like a California surfer, just like, that's cool, dude, that's sick, bro. And then they'll be dropping like the most interesting factoids about sociology that you ever heard. So yeah, that's kind of what's known as a parasocial relationship, and the deal with that is it was English 1 and he was also a mythology nerd. That's awesome. That's so cool. I would definitely love to. You know what? That's how I felt too with like my astronomy professor, where it's like, man, you're cool. Like, you're cool. I just want to like, what is it like? Pick at your brain, see what makes you tick. Toledo Museum of Art. Cool. But yeah, so that is Edward Hopper. There's probably other works that you can kind of analyze. I remember seeing like a video essay on like the works of, speaking of Pagliacci, he's right here. He's smoking a cigarette. Oh, I love that. Ooh, you could, when you zoom in really close like this, you can see a lot of the painterly texture. Very cool. Okie dokie. I am pretty tired, so I think I'm gonna... He's going through it! I am pretty tired. I'm like wondering if we should also mosh. I think yeah. Let's mosh. Let's mosh. Let me just find a good music. After this is actually my last stream for the week. But I'll be back next Monday. I'm going on vacation with some friends. But I'll be back by Monday with Pentiment. I'm gonna post my schedule. I might post it early before I leave. For my trip. But we'll see. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you. Oh, thank you for everyone that like recommended art to look at, or even if you just were tuning in or lurking. I appreciate you. What are we listening to? What are we moshing to? Ooh. Septet for the Ooh, we have some Toho music. You guys down for Toho music? Toho Project. Alright, if you've never done an end of stream mosh pit with us, just pick an emote and spam it. I'm here for you. What? My downfall? There is no downfall. I'm just your humble sun bear teacher. You looking for something to cancel me on? Hey! No! Open up the pit. What's something you can cancel me on? People who make resumes that are more than 1 page deserve to... I was hoping the music would play at that moment. Hey! There we go. People who have resumes that are longer than 1 page deserve to have a good day so that they can learn that it's okay to just have it be 1 page. Alright, get to moshing. Open up the pit. Oh my god, that emote. QB Poggies. The captions just say question mark because of my noises. MixItUp, you survived the mosh pit. Good job. But can you survive? Round 2. Fight. Oh, this breakdown is good. What do you mean I survived the mosh pit? No! No! Full health bar! No, I missed it. No, it's not. It's not rigged. Was I full health the whole time? Cheats, hacks. No, there's no cheats or hacks. No. I was looking at Randon's stream. I swear. I was... No, George finally has something to cancel me on. No, this is the worst. No, don't do it, students. Don't do it. Don't cancel me. Don't do it. I'm just a little bear. I'm just a little bear. No, look. Round 3. You wouldn't cancel a little bear. No. Now you're all ganging up on me. Everyone's ganging up on me! And George, for some reason. Look, see, I already lost. It's not rigged. It's not. It's Nixie versus Seishun. Who's getting it? Let's go! She turned the game genie off. No, there's no such thing. There's no game genie. It's okay, Nixie. You got the first round, but Seishun got the third round. And good timing, too. Good job, you guys. Good job. I appreciate you. I actually lived for once. Yeah, you did. You did. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you guys next week. We'll be doing Pentiment. And I already forgot the rest of my schedule. There's probably going to be a just chatting in there. I also want to do an educational stream one of these days. So yeah. Thanks you guys for dropping by. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for the pet. You guys love me after all. You guys really like me. You really, really like me. Alright, we're going to raid into the Stinky Orc. I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, and weekend. And MLK Jr. weekend for those that are in Bear America. And as always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Oh, thank you for the pet, everybody. May Shark, Rin, thank you. Thank you. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. We raid.